Hello, beloveds. It's Kate Barness, and I have a special message for you today, and it is about surrender. So it's been a really tough week for me this last week or so. My brother-in-law has died. He had cancer, and he's only 55. So we knew he was sick, but it's still such a hard loss. My daughter got another concussion by hitting her head. She's okay. She's recovering from that. Um, and I have been dealing with some significant headaches and some drainage. And the last few days, I've had burning in my chest, really significant burning. So I went to get it checked out because that's not normal. Burning in your chest can indicate a number of things like heart attack, other things. Including potentially COVID. So I went to get it checked out. Everything sounded okay. And they gave me a COVID test, and I was able to get the results back within a day. And the test showed negative. So negative for COVID, which was a huge relief. What this means for my big workshop that I was having next week is that it's not going to happen. All of these things coming together at once are telling me that it is not the right time to do this. I need to be kind to myself and to take a step back from all the things that would be involved in that and rest and recover and honor my own needs. So this is hard for me because in the past, I've been a person who just goes. I push myself past when I'm exhausted to get things done. I have ideas about what it means to be productive and all the stuff along with that. I'm sure you also hear the culture tells us to work, and not to rest and not to play. And not to listen to our bodies and our intuition. And so this is a viral thing. This is something that's happening to my body. But there's a bigger picture here too. In ancient Chinese medicine, when people have trouble with their lungs, they're having difficulty with their life force. There's something that is not in alignment, that is draining their life force, and which would be qi in the Chinese medicine. If you think about it, it's true. You've got your lungs are what are supplying air to all parts of your body along with your heart. And so when there's trouble with the lungs, there's trouble with your life force. There's also an association with lungs and grief. And that makes a lot of sense right now. Some of the things that I'm in grief about. I've also recently started to work with someone who does hypnotherapy, which is a kind of therapy where you go to not a sleep part, but you go to a very relaxed state and you bring up parts of your past and heal them. And a skilled hypnotherapist really helps you to reprocess some of those events from your past that are shaping who you are now. A lot of times our pain, it can give us a gift of becoming stronger, but it can also push us to act in ways in the world that are self-destructive. And I had gotten to the point where I wanted to heal some of these past hurts that have been running my life, essentially. Despite all of my intentions to think my way out of it, I've done therapy, I've done other things to heal, to process. And now I'm at the point where I'm doing this hypnotherapy, and it is so powerful. It's so powerful. And so what it's doing is it's bringing out within me, I'm processing a lot of grief from the past. And so when I heard this association of the lungs in Chinese medicine with grief, it immediately resonated. So all of these things are coming into my field, my life, and I I have the head part of me that says you must always do things that you say you're going to do. You must always push through no matter what. People are expecting certain things from you. So what happens when we have this programming about how we're supposed to be in life? We tune out our intuition, we push it down, we abandon our needs for the sake of others. And others may not even care. They may be like, okay, whatever. Others may be upset and say, no, you're not playing by the rules. But what happens when we abandon the parts of ourselves that have a need? Like, I have a need for rest right now. I have a need to pull my energetic self in and nurture it on all sorts of levels, physical, emotional, um, spiritual. Because as a highly sensitive person, all of these things that are going on in the world right now are being absorbed by me as well. So there's a universal grief that is being experienced right now. The grief of feeling out of control, the grief of not being able to do the things that we thought were going to happen, the grief of not being able to attend the funeral because of a worry of infection. Things are out of our control, and control is an illusion anyway, right? We don't want it to be that way. We desperately seek to be able to plan, to be able to implement things and have them go a certain way. But the truth is that things happen. Things happen in life, and we need to respond. And how do we respond? Are we going to respond with the programming that asks us to uh, deny ourselves, deny our intuition, deny our own well-being? Or are we going to surrender to what is and regroup our energies and be able to um, come back in a new, stronger, more authentic way? For me, for right now, what I'm going to do is honor myself and not listen to the way things are supposed to be and repress my own needs and desires. I don't want it to get to the point where I have to have a physical ailment to give me an excuse to get out of it. You know what I'm talking about. When we don't honor ourselves and we have things that are out of alignment with what we want to do, then often our body will create something to get us aware of our misalignment and to force us to surrender to the process. I think that that may be part of what's going on here. Obviously, there's a virus in my system that's causing inflammation. I acknowledge that. But I also know that on a spiritual level, there's something else going on as well. And I'm going to honor that before it becomes something more serious, because I can choose to honor myself without having to have an excuse. The reason I'm sharing all of this with you is because I suspect that there are some of you out there going through similar struggles and similar challenges with surrender and feeling torn to do what you're supposed to do, what you've been taught to do, feeling trapped in that narrative. And I want to offer a different narrative to you. And I'm demonstrating that there can be a different way. And I am honoring myself with rest and, most of all, not forcing myself into a pattern that has not been useful for me in the past. I'm literally making space in my physical and time environments to process what I need to process. So I thank you for watching, and I thank you for being with me on this journey. I hope that it inspires you to tune into your own intuitive knowing, into your body knowing, and to have the courage to do something different and to know that everything's going to be fine, that it's okay to honor yourself. In fact, it's more than okay. I believe that in surrendering to what our own truth is, that we find an even better reality.